All right, folks, be honest. Did you freak out when it dipped under here at 42? You did, right? Bunch of crying babies. Yes, admit it. Just kidding, guys. Well, if this kind of price action that we had today doesn't fire you up into holding even more where we are going, guys, I'm just being honest. I'm not even sure that you needed to be in this play to begin with. Just being honest. No, seriously, just being honest. Well, guys, yesterday Adam Aaron came out on Twitter in order to make a little bit of clarification around the share count, because there was a little bit of confusion around whether or not the 4.1 million number that he came up with was including the retailers and the institutions, and also about the country was also international countries outside of the US and Canada included. So this is what he said. Well, there are no mysteries in yesterday's shareholder count. For continued transparency, as of June 2nd, about 4.1 million investors held 501.8 million AMC shares. Individuals had more than 80% of the shares, but the count included everyone, both individuals and institutions. He continues, it was a global count, not just shares held by those in the US and Canada, so global around the globe. The summary numbers were accurately rounded. We said that about, not exactly, 4.1 million holders each owned on average about, not precisely, 120 shares. The numbers add up correctly. Well, Adam, I'm not so sure about that, because when I'm trying to do a simple math, something's off. And this is what I mean by that, guys. So we do know we have in total 502 million shares existing, okay? And that 80% of that is being owned by the apes. Well, if I do 502, 123 times 80%, well, it gives me almost 402 million shares, right? 402 million shares. Now, let's take into consideration, let's just remove this, okay? Let's remove this. 502 minus 402 leaves us with 100. So we have about 100 million shares, okay? Well, without going into too much details, guys, by doing just this simple math, why in the heck do we have a volume around 221 million shares traded today, just today? Given that since we've been dropping from high 70s and high 60s to the 40s, the volume has been decreasing. At a point last week, we were trading 800 million shares on a single day. So how come we have 8 times this number left here? Just doing the simple math, okay? Now, if I include the numbers of institutional shares, which Fintel gives us, we have about 175 million shares held by institutions. It's just completely off then, okay? But guess what, guys? I'm not the only one thinking that. If you go on Twitter, this guy Rogue the Legacy. So he's saying AMC using Adam Aaron's tweets, okay? So share owns by all 502 million shares that we know. Shareholders approximately, given what we've been given today, 4.1 million shares, averaging each 120 shares. That gives us almost 402 million shares, those 80%. Now, if I include the institutional shares, well, from NASDAQ, we have 115 million shares. Well, it still leaves us with the total shares over the float, 15 million shares, okay? 15 million shares being synthetic shares or naked shares that we already know exist. Well, guys, it's not that easy for Adam Aaron to come on Twitter or even go on TV and just say, hey, there is a huge manipulation going on with the stock price of my company because these guys are using synthetic shares and naked shorts. Well, he doesn't have hard evidence, and even if he did, he has to follow a set of compliance rules plus legal rules, cornered and regulated by lawyers, and I mentioned compliance. So it's not that easy for him to just say that, even though when you do the math, it's there, it's right there on CNBC, on Fox Business. Folks, other Wall Street professionals admitted that this is a thing, okay? We have lawyers saying, hey, naked shorting has been going on since 2008 and it's increasing. So we know we have the facts, all right? Guys, it gives you a lot more confidence, okay? it gives you a lot more confidence because we know there is no way out. There is no way around this thing they have to cover. Well, guess what, guys? Think about this. If I take my car title and I sell it to you, and then you copy that car title, you sell it to someone else, and that someone else copy and sell it to 15 other people, does that mean because there are 15 copies of that title that we have 15 cars being sold? No, it's the same damn car with a single title. And that is called stealing, by the way, in Texas where I live. So guys, this is the exact same thing they're doing, okay? With high frequency trading, they're multiplying these shares. And that's what they call synthetic. And on top of that, naked shorting, which by the way, it's also illegal. So we know the only way out for the hedges in this is to cover. And when they cover, that's why we ripped. That's when we rip and we go to the 10 days land. Simple.